right. Can y'all hear me? Put a one in the chat if y'all could hear me. Put a one in the chat. I don't know if y'all heard the intro. Um, but we hear, so I just want to make sure y'all can hear me. Put a one in the chat if you can hear me, so we can get into some things. Hold on. All right. Can y'all hear me okay? Sounds good? Is it okay? Y'all good? Huh. All right. So listen, get in here, get in here. We got to get into some things. Hold on real quick. All right. Can y'all hear me? All right. All right. And everything's moving because everything's cool, everything's smooth. All right. Perfect. So y'all know I could not come to New York and give y'all this tea. Like, y'all know that we had to come and cover the Diddy trial. A lot of people was asking me, like, are you coming out there? Are you coming out there? Are you going to New York? And I'm like, yes. I was invested in the case. I knew I was coming to the case last year. So I was like, all right, I need to figure out how I'm going to get in there and how I'm going to get to that courtroom. Now, it's a lot going on. This case is going to be a mess. It's dramatic, it's full of drama, and it's going to be salacious. All right. And y'all know I'm going to give y'all the tea on the case, but I got to give y'all the tea on everything what's going on because I like y'all to feel like y'all are there with me. So buckle up, relax, and really get into some things because I'm about to tell y'all how it's going from the beginning. And now, if you know anything about these cases, it's like a schoolyard as well because you have the case and then you have the media and you have the public. So it's a lot going on. It's a lot of variables. It's a lot of different people out there. So I'm gonna let you guys know what's going on. So I'm here for the duration of the case. Okay. The secret is out. I'm in New York for however long the case is. We out here. Okay. Now, I literally had to wake up at about 4 a.m. Okay. Just to get to the line. Now, the general public line, the media line, it's everybody, it's every man for himself. It's not any separate lines. Everybody has to wait. They have media camping outside. This is just week one, and this is literally just the jury selection, right? So they've been selecting the jury since Monday. It's been crazy. So mind you, I get there about 5 o'clock in the morning. It's already a line. So what they do is a lot of these media companies, they hire squatters or sitters to sit in the line to save their spot, and they come a little bit later. Okay. I met this cool guy that works for Essence. His name is James. Shout out to James. He put me on game on everything that needed to be happened because when I got out here, I was like, all right, I need to figure out the lay of the land so I know how to move when it's time to do this case. So he laced me up. We're sitting out there. Mind you, it's a terrible day in New York today. It's raining. All of that is happening. So I'm sitting there. I'm getting a little footage. I'm doing my thing. And he's just giving me the updates on how everything is supposed to happen with the case. Now, there's prominent media companies here. ABC, New York Times, TMZ, you list it, you could think of it, it's out here. Lawyers, everybody. I'm going to tell you this. By the end of this case, and it won't be for me, but somebody is going to get cursed out. Oh, absolutely. 100%. Somebody's going to end up getting cussed out in that line for sure. And that's a motherfucking fact. That is a fact. Somebody's going to get cursed out in that line. And you know why? Because now, I know what we did with that Tory Lanez case, it broke a lot of barriers for media and new media and things like that. But when I tell you this feels like a bloodbath sales floor, it feels like we're selling real estate. It feels like we are all fighting for that one shot, that one. It's so competitive. And there's like this hierarchy when it comes to the media. You can tell, like, some people are kind of walking around like, who do you work for? So they name drop, I work for this company, I work for that company. And then you have some guys, I'm not going to say any names because I still have to be at the court, but you have some people that kind of walk around like they are bigger than the program or bigger than you and kind of with their nose in the air. You know what I'm saying? And they look down on, like, some of them are part of traditional media and some of them are new media, but they look down on the new media. Some of them are, you know what? So they really feel grand, and you could just kind of see it in the interview. So you can see people, it's interesting watching how people maneuver around the case, especially the media people, because there's a slight bit of like, and we all have it. It's like the thirst to be in line. It's the tensions of the case because they're not letting people in. And before if they let you in, you got into the overflow room. But if you got into the overflow room, it was just streaming audio. It wasn't streaming video until, I guess, today. I don't know because I made it into the actual courtroom. But they have this thing where the people are waiting, right? We're all waiting in line. And you could just, but then there's certain people that try to, after the squatters leave, the sitters, there's different like media people that try to come in because it's like, okay, let's say you have a guy that works for TMZ or you have a guy that works for ABC. They pay for a squatter to sit outside at midnight. And then they come strolling in at around, 7, 8 a.m. But what happens is, like, it was almost like they would have that spot, but then it was like maybe they had 2 or 3 people from their team. Then you had like, it's like 3 people trying to get in line with that one person. It's kind of like that one sitter was saving the spot for that one person that worked at that company. But then his or her colleagues came, and it was almost like they were going to see if they could kind of cut in line with their homegirl. So it got to the point where the girl behind me, she was like, "Are you watching this line?" She works for a company too. And I'm like, yeah, I'm watching this line because it's starting to feel like people is starting to like push up to the front that wasn't supposed to be there. Luckily, they all kind of went where they need to go. But if you're not paying attention, then you can get cut. And it's important because when you walk inside the courtroom, you have to take all your stuff out. Electronics, everything you got to check it in, right? But here's the thing. You can go, it's like going through TSA, So if you get like a slow, like check person, a police officer, a security person, that means if they tell you to go into, the first lane, and then maybe somebody behind you goes into the right lane, into the second lane, and they're faster at getting checked out through clearance, then they could somehow be in front of you. And that one person could make the difference in you getting inside the actual courtroom or being inside or not getting in at all. And so there was a girl, she was first in line. And she was like, thank God for me, because there was another girl too. It happened to me today. She was behind me, but somehow she ended up in front of me. And she was like, go ahead and go. And because I know you were in line waiting, go ahead and go. They don't have a system. There's no list. There's no nothing. It just has to be an honor system or an integral system. So one of the girls, she was kind of venting about it. And she was like, if I go through this line, mind you, now this is not Black people. This is not like, this is everybody now. This is like traditional media people. This is New York City now. People have gotten on planes from Miami. People have gotten from Chicago. People from New York. People are all over. People are spending their money. People want to be in this trial. People want to see what's going on. Okay. So when one of the girls, she was talking and she said, if I get held up and they don't let me in, or I'm cutting right past everybody that passed me. And if I'm in the front of the line, I'm going to walk in the front of the line. And if somebody has a problem with it, I'm prepared to kick, scream, drag, and go off. And I'm like, girl, like, she's like, yeah. She already like, I mean, the tensions were like, anybody, I'll go off. I'm a nice person, but this is my plan. And I don't care what anybody says, what anybody feels for the next 2 months. Like, she was like giving all of that. And then you had some people, they were like, do you have your media pass? Do you need this? Like, some people were helpful, some people were cool, but this ain't no friends in this game. Ain't no friends in this media game. You can tell some people feel like, okay, well, you're not really traditional, or you're true traditional, or you're not validated. You don't deserve to be here, or you shouldn't be here, or why are you here? I should be. It's like a superiority thing. It's a weird energy. But what I'm learning, I just keep to myself. Don't let nobody get too close. Don't get too close. You know what I mean? Because you know me. Y'all know me. Okay? I can't be in New York crashing out, and then it's like, yeah, my mom went to New York and crashed out. Hell yeah. Y'all not finna disrespect me and play with me. I don't care what you talk about. But luckily that didn't happen. I was just observing. I'm observing the people. It's all different types of people here. People are up waiting, and it's a dog eat dog world. It is a dog eat dog situation here. Everybody's trying to get their content. Mind you, it's pouring down raining. People's trying to get their content. They don't give up about nobody. Okay? If you in their way, they're going to run you over. Somebody said traditional media doesn't respect YouTubers. No, they don't, but we give it up too. But I'm not even on that. I'm just giving y'all, like, this is going to be an interesting 60 days because it's a lot of personalities just in the media. And we're spending a lot of time with each other, but not with each other. But we're spending a lot of time for hours. Listen, I was there for 4 or 5 hours before we got in. So it's a lot of hours, and then there's no real structure to the line and to how our maneuver. And then they're only letting like 7 to 10, maybe 14 people at max in the courtroom. At max. And you got to think, it's hundreds of motherfuckers coming out here. Next week is going to be a bloodbath. Monday is going to be a disaster. It is going to be a disaster. Okay? So, let me give you the team. So, I'm in line. Today's my day 1. But I'm like, I'm going to get in here. I don't care what nobody says. Boom. They let me in. I get in a courtroom. Everybody got their New York media passes. I'm working on getting mine. Shout out to my boy James. He's helped me get my New York press pass because the press pass is very important. But I just didn't know like what I needed and where I was going. But luckily for him, he helped me and he guided me through. So boom, you can't have you get in the courtroom. No gum, no mints, no crackers, nothing. You can't have nothing inside that courtroom. You can't whisper. You can't do nothing while the judge is in there, and you just can't talk. Okay? So now we're in the courtroom. Media's all in there. Everybody's in there. They want the press to get the stories out. And when I'm in the courtroom, I'm like, it's a pretty big courtroom. It's huge. And it's very modern. So you go into the courtroom. It's a big courtroom, but I've never seen so many computer screens. It's a lot of computer screens. Like every desk had multiple computer screens. Even the jury box had computer screens. Now, today is the final day where they were supposed to select the jury, but they didn't select the jury today because they couldn't finish Xing out some of the juries that they didn't want. Some of the juries, that they had going for them, some of them didn't end up wanting to do the case. They felt they were fearing for their safety and they were fearing for their personal life, so they quit. There was another juror that I think that the defense, Diddy's team, wanted. However, he got X'd out because he had he was suing the state of New York and didn't tell nobody, lied about it. So they threw him out. And so they're just trying to figure out, okay, well, do we do, Do we just exile the juries right now and get 12 juries on the stand? Then we have 6 backup and then 3 replacements, like alternates. I feel like the defense was trying to like stall because they kept trying to push that to Monday. So now the final jury selection gets moved to Monday. They have 43 jurors. They're going to like break them down to 12, 6, and 3. And they're supposed to do that within 10 to 15 minutes. The prosecution, which is the government, the United States government, they're like, I just feel like this is going to drag on. We're trying to get this case started. But what's interesting is the United States government prosecutors and Diddy's attorneys, they have a good working relationship together. They respect one another. So I could tell that they're trying to be cool and cordial and they're not trying to be disrespectful. But the prosecutors are like, this is going to be a waste of time and it's going to get dragged out. The defense is like, no, we can handle it. We can handle it. We'll get it done in a timely manner. So now this is rolling over. The jury selection is going to be rolling over to Monday. And then we're supposed to go ahead straight into trial. I don't know how that's going to go. So, and I think it's very interesting this. The United States government, the feds, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think, maybe even 6, all white women. All the prosecution is all white women. I'm like, I never seen a panel of white women lawyers. The judge is actually a young-looking Indian guy. But the prosecution is like straight white women, like 5 of them, coming for Diddy. Like 5 or 6. They're coming for him. Coming for him. Okay? So in walks Diddy. And when Diddy walked in, I'm like, oh, when he walked in, I'm not going to hold you. I was like, oh, shit. I mean, shoot. I got scared. He don't look like the, Diddy bopping Diddy. Hair's gray. Body's a little out of shape. He had on a white collar shirt with like a blue sweater, and he looked back ever so gracefully, like a little bit, but he was moving so frail at first. He kind of looked back and he was like a little timid. Then he would look, and I'm looking to see if we can make eye contact. We made eye contact, but he's waving a little bit at all the media and everybody in the room, seeing who's there, seeing who's supporting him. I don't think his family came, but his friend came. His friend, I forget the guy's name, but he always wears a free Diddy hoodie, a free Diddy sweatshirt. He comes to every trial. He sat in front of me. Jesus, I got to figure out this guy's name. Let me see. I think I have it on video, but I'm going to write it down next time. But I think it's one of his best friends. It's like Charlie Mack or something like that. So anyway, Diddy's there, full head of gray hair. He almost looked like Bill Cosby. And he felt a little frail. Glasses, prescription, black. So he's in there, and I'm looking at him, and he's looking around. And then you start to see he gets comfortable because they're going through the process. So a little bit of me felt like, and like one of the first things I said was like, wow. Ooh. I was scared. It felt like this is what he actually looks like. You know that idea, like when they think that when he's on top, when he was like taking all the energy from these people, it seems like now, like everyone's got their soul back and now he's left with himself. And he's all he's got. And you see the real, like, it almost looks like a little bit of death in him. Like that glow, that energy that he's absorbed from the fame, the life, the power, the money, all that's gone. That glow from that Diddy, that arrogance, that's gone. That's gone. It was very hi, humble, hi, 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 very that. And I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. So, but then a little bit changed. And I'm sitting next to a lady, mind you, because she's from New Jersey. I'm sitting next to her, black lady. She's got braids, and she says, "Wow," to me too, right? And we're sitting in the courtroom, and I'm like, "Yeah." And I said, but she said, "But he still has his charm." So he's sitting next to one of his female attorneys, and I can see him from the back, but he's talking to her. He's doing his Diddy bob, he's talking to her. I'm like, "Oh, that's the Diddy right there." A little life was still in him. He still, like, as he got comfortable, I could see Diddy. Like, okay, this is the Diddy that we know. So he still does have his charm. So I'm like, well, he does still have his charm. And she said, that man is going to jail. I'm like, what? She's like, that man is going to jail. I'm like, okay. So then I'm looking around. There was this interesting black guy there. A little worn down looking clothing, afro, dark skin. Um, and I mean this in the most respectful way. I don't even know how else to say it. I'm not going to say it. But he looked like, you know, you know, he kind of looked like an actor that had been in one of those slave movies, if you know what I mean. And he was there. But one of the media guys, this guy, you can tell me, I can't put a name on it because I just got to be respectful. But this guy, this particular guy, you can tell that he feels like he is the Dundada. I'm the biggest person here. I make all the connections. I make the calls. I am the media. I am the most important person in the room. Here's my card. Here's this. Oh, like it's kind of like a little bit like see me. Like, I don't know. He could be cool, but he kind of rubbed me the wrong way a little bit because I was standing outside talking to James. I'm literally standing up. James is sitting down. He walks right in front of me, starts talking to James, doesn't even look at me, doesn't greet, doesn't say, hey, good morning. That's just like has a full conversation, walk like just like kept like doing like around me. It was like weird. But he got out of his seat out of nowhere, came over to the side where that black guy was, and was like, why are you here? Are you media? What are you here for? What do you want? And the guy was like, oh, I'm just here, part of the public. He's like, oh, here's my card. Then he went and sat down. So I don't, but see, in my mind, it could be, well, hey, but the guy's really good though. Like he's really good. Like a little bit arrogant, but he's a damn good reporter. So I'm like, well, what is that? So I'm listening because he's got an intern with him too. So he's telling the intern, watch everybody. Ask why are people here? What everybody wants to be a part of the movie. Why are they here? Why are they in the courtroom? What are they doing? You go make sure you ask everybody. Even you go get a video. So mind you, I'm trying not to be in his mouth, but I'm sitting here listening. I'm taking notes for myself. But I'm like, you know what I mean? I don't want him to come over here and talk with me, but I'm still listen to see what he's doing, and I'm seeing what he's right. You know what I mean? So in my mind, it's two things. Number one, maybe you're just trying to gather information on seeing who's in the courtroom, what side are they on, who are they with, so that, when you write your stories, it builds your stories. But the other part of it was everybody's not getting into that courtroom. You are the press. And the bailiff was very clear. He was like, no talking in here because we got to make sure that our job is to get, the press has the job to get the story out to the public. They have to get these stories out to the public. And so in my mind, I'm like, well, the press is going to actually control the narrative. So you can target or you can talk to certain people and or maybe not or maybe, and then you get to create the story that goes out to the public for consumption, especially if you have a major platform. So you get to create the narrative based on the people that you interact with, based on the people that you see, based on the people that you choose to be a part of your story. You get to create a bigger story. So I thought it was interesting that he picked that guy because the guy literally was digging in his nose when he walked up to him. Like he had it was like I don't know if it was like I don't know if it was like a nasal spray, but he had like two things. Like he was like digging in his nose, and the guy just beeline for him like, what's up with you? So in my mind, I feel like he thought, you look crazy as hell. How did you get here? What do you want? Like the guy was literally, I'm like, okay. So I'm like, well, what made him go talk to him? Because mind you, this is the same man that had completely ignored me. So I'm over there like, okay. So I'm sitting down and we're riding. And honestly, today was just about setting up what they're going to have in the case. And they don't want a lot of on both sides, they didn't want a lot of objections on opening day. So it seems like the prosecution and the defense are still trying to have a nice working relationship. Much different from Megan Thee Stallion. It was objection. It was rude talking. It was all kind of that. It was not a nice situation with them. But these people are trying to make sure that they know how they're coming so that it's smooth. And so victim 3, they're still not sure if victim 3 is coming for the prosecution. Now, rumor has it, people are alleging, people are thinking, it's not confirmed, but the streets are talking. They feel like victim 3 could be Gina. She did the interview with Tasha K. We don't know. I don't know if that's true. They didn't say any names, but they're saying that they don't know if she's come. Whatever this victim is, they don't know if that victim is coming. We do know victim 1 is coming. I'm assuming that victim 1 is going to be Cassie because it's Cassie. Victim 1 is going to be Cassie. Okay. I'm also hearing that there's an escort that's coming. Now, the prosecution has requested that when the escort comes and, tells his story, that the escort's past, I guess he had some messy stuff in the past, the defense doesn't get to use that against him to discredit him as a witness because Sean Combs was paying for the escorts. He was paying for this. He was paying. That's what they want to focus on. The fact that you were paying for the escorts, not the escorts pass. So don't derail the conversation. That's kind of what I got from it. So there's that. So there's a score, but then there was also a picture from, I was trying to find it, 2005, May 19th. Was it 2005? I think it was 2005, May 19th, that victim 1, I feel like it's Cassie. I'm just going to say it. Cassie. She was in the picture, hugged up with a person. Okay. That person is, again, her witness. Or is it 2001? I think it might have been 2001. Either 2001 or 2005. But it was before Diddy. The defense does not want that picture admitted into evidence. I believe the prosecution wants that picture in there because it shows validity to the friendship of the witness that's going to corroborate Cassie's story. However, the defense doesn't want that picture in there because Cassie looks really, really young. And they don't want the jury to feel like Diddy was sleeping with Cassie during that time. So the prosecution said that they will make it clear that the picture was taken well before Diddy. So they came to terms with that. So that picture will be a part of the evidence. That picture will be a part of the evidence. Okay? So, but they were fighting hard on that because they were like, well, we don't want a juror to associate this picture in her youth as if Diddy was sleeping with her then. And the prosecution said, no, we won't do that. We'll make it clear that this is before Diddy, but we need to use this picture. So the picture came in. Now, there was conversation about coercion and things like that. And the judge asked the prosecutor, they said, well, you do know that if you guys do that in the cross-examination, that now you're opening up for the defense to come in and interrogate Cassie. Long story short, that lawyer said, Diddy's lawyer said, let me just be real. We're not hiding the fact that, there was some fighting and abuse and things like that. Like they're well aware of that. Okay. The video with him beating up Cassie in the hotel, they got 3 different videos. They got the regular footage. They got news footage of it. They've got like 5 different variations of that video. That's going to be put out. That's coming into play. Everybody understands that. So now what they're going to do, what the defense is going to do, they're going to attempt, he pretty much just said it, they're going to attempt to humiliate Cassie. They're trying to take away the coercion. It's no, we didn't coerce her, we didn't do this. No. This was a domestic abusive relationship. Cassie strong. She knew what she was doing. And she was just as violent as him. That's how they're coming. They're about to paint this story. And he literally said, we're going to paint the story that she was just as abusive and violent as him. Yes, they fought. Yes, they did, but that wasn't coercion. She hit him too. They were abusive to each other. And I feel like they're planning on pulling up. They have receipts on her being an aggressor, I guess. They're going to be pulling up. They're going to do a smear campaign on her in the court. Oh yeah. They're finna wear her out. And then, Cassie's pregnant too. They also said during the trial, they asked the judge, can they because I just assumed this was Cassie, but one of the witnesses is going to need frequent bathroom breaks. At least once every 90 minutes. I'm thinking 90 minutes should have been the total. But the judge was like, well, I don't want you to keep asking her, does she need to use the bathroom? So I'd rather the jury think that it's on me. So I'll just keep it in my mind to keep taking these breaks. But if any point, if you feel like we need a break, just say that we need a break and we'll go to break. But don't ask her. So every 90 minutes tells me, they're finna have Cassie up there all fucking day, pregnant. She's finna tell her story like we've never heard it before. And then on the back end, from the prosecution, and then the defense is going to come and drag her and debunk her and make her out to be like this aggressive abuser fighting back woman. They're planning on dragging her through the fucking mud. Mm-hmm. Also, before I was there, some of the reporters were speculating that, there's going to be more celebrity witnesses. But here's the other part. All the celebrity witnesses are not against Diddy. Some of them are coming to Diddy's defense, allegedly. Now, this wasn't said in court, but this is just, me talking to the reporters and stuff outside. But a lot of celebrities were named to the jury. I'm just catching you guys up from the days that I wasn't here. Names like Michael B. Jordan, Young Miami was mentioned. I don't know if she's going to be coming in, but Lauren London was mentioned. Michael Myers. I mean, any and everybody you could possibly think of was almost mentioned. No Jay-Z. So this is going to be a very, very messy case. All the dirty laundry is coming out. And they're about to air Cassie. Diddy and his team are about to air Cassie out for blood. They're about to drag her through it. They're going to drag her through the mud. And the guy literally said, I'm just going to be honest with you. Where our angle is, she was just as nasty. She was just as abusive. She was an abuser. I don't know if that works, though. I don't know if that justifies kicking and stomping her, but I think they're trying to take away the coercion of it all and say, no, there was no coercion. He wasn't hitting her and making her do this stuff. They just had a toxic relationship because they know that they can't refute or hide that surveillance video. They know they can't get rid of that. So now they have to make it seem like Cassie was fighting too. So it's an interesting situation. We covering it for you guys. I'll drop the link and see if anybody wants to come on here and give a couple thoughts on what y'all think is going to go down, how you think this case is going to go. We are covering this case every single day. We will be here. You guys, sometimes we might get in, sometimes we might not, just depending on it. They are planning for hundreds of people to be there Monday. Monday is going to be insane. I want to know, is anybody on Diddy's side? Or is anybody on Cassie's side? How do you think that this ends? I'll let you guys click the link and you guys can come on. So, Coco was where? Click the link. I don't know what's going on with the Kim Porter stuff. I don't know if they're gonna go that deep down the rabbit hole, but I'm interested. Let me add this person. Hello?
Hiya, how are you?
You know what? I don't know if I can hear you. Hold on. Uh-oh. It might
Can you
not
hear
let me
me?
hear you. Hold on. Hold on. 1 second, 1 second. Why is it? Oh, you know what? Can you hear me? Let me see if I can.
Yeah, I can hear you. Can
I
you hear
can't hear
me?
you though. Let me see. Hold on 1 quick second. Um, okay, say something.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you. What's going on? Talk to me.
Hey, what's up? How are you?
Good. How do you think that this is going to go? What do you think about them going to plan Cassie as an abuser and like a fighter?
Yeah, okay. I'm just gonna just say it. One, mutual abuse literally does not exist. If somebody hits you 20 times and you hit back, that doesn't make you an abuser. Like, it's such a dumb defense because it's like, one, there's a thing called reactive abuse. Reactive abuse is when an abuser hits you so many times and then you get gaslit and then maybe they'll hit you back, but that doesn't make you an abuser. And also, that makes no sense because in that relationship, Diddy has all the power in the relationship. He's got the financial power, he has more money than her. He also is her artist, so then he controls her career. He has financial resources to earn anything. So
Mm-hmm.
so it cannot be mutual abuse because Diddy is in an inherent position of power over Cassie. Like Cassie does not have any power over Diddy in that situation. The
Yeah.
mutual abuse argument is just a Hail Mary argument that they're just trying to use. It's just pathetic. Mutual abuse doesn't exist.
Thank you. I got to take some more. We got a lot of people. Okay, let's go ahead. What you got?
Hey, I was
Lee?
just gonna ask if you think that the defense is gonna, if they don't mind going hard on her because she already won the civil case. Do you think they feel like, oh, you got this money already, so now we about to go in type of deal?
Well, I think what it is I feel like they that video is going into evidence. 5 different variants of that video they have of him hitting her. So they can't deny that. And they also have witnesses, other witnesses. So she is going to be the key witness and I feel like she's going to be the first interview because she's going to set the stage for the jurors to be like to feel bad for her. So I think that there's no way around getting over that video. We all saw that video. So how do you justify that video other than, well, we know that they did that, but here's a bunch of receipts in a bunch of instances where she was an aggressor, where she had violent things. So that wasn't something that he was doing to coerce her or to manipulate her or to force her into doing anything. They just had a toxic relationship where they would just fight. So let's cancel that out. They're trying to cancel out that footage that came out. So, because they have to get in front of it somehow. And it's really hard to do.
Okay, I got you.
You know
Okay.
what I mean?
Yeah.
All right,
All
thank
right,
you.
cool.
Okay, we got a free puff. We got a free puff. Talk to me.
Hello. I think that Puff is innocent. I think that he did a lot of things that people don't agree with. Um,
Okay.
I think that Cassie was a wild girl, and she was cheating on Puff for a long time. She had someone that was like in Africa who was like fucking her. So it's just like there's a lot of things that like Cassie was doing on the side that I think that like.
Thank you. So we got to stay away, especially when we're live and we're in New York and we're listen. We're not. We need the super chat. You cannot be cursing like that on here. Listen, it's very expensive. Okay, y'all need to donate because now this way y'all be wanting live shows, but y'all don't be sending no coins. But then y'all want to go live and curse on my thing. We cannot do that, or I will not go live. I'll just have to upload. Okay. And send in. Listen, if you want to help our New York coverage fund, super chat me or cash at me, boo. But yes, you can come back up here. You just cannot curse. Coverage fund. Ahead. Super chat me or cash at me, boo. Yes, do not curse.
Okay, I won't curse. I just personally feel like, Puff is not a person where people obviously know and like, but I do feel like he's done a lot of good for the community. Okay. And I think that Cassie's not innocent, and to be getting a lot of money a month, a lot of money a year, and then now all of a sudden, you're with the trainer who, Kanye had that whole moment where he's like, all the trainers in Hollywood are like working for the CIA. Now you're married to your trainer, and then your trainer like all of a sudden has a baby with you, and then now everything with Puff isn't out in the open. So I don't know. It's just deeper. And I personally free Puff. I think he's innocent. I think that he's not an innocent man in the sense of everything. But when it comes to what they're trying to put him now, it just feels like we're all freaky. We all do things that in our bedroom that no one else wants to see or wants to do. And as as black men, it's hard to like be like, oh, I like this or I want to try this. And, when you have money, you put that curtain and that veil up. And I think that's what Puff did. And people are using that now against him, just like everyone else in the world. Leonardo DiCaprio, what has he always done? Dated young girls and done things. But in our world, black men are always put to the forefront of like, you did wrong, so we're going to crucify you and show that everyone else needs to not do that. Or if they're going to do it in our world, they're going to have these rules. And so first off, Armand, I love you and I've watched you for years, and I apologize for cussing on your network. I do know the rules. And
I want to keep you on here though. Stay here because there might be somebody that wants to kind of, refute what you're saying. Because I see a lot of people throwing. So just hold on. You got to keep your position. So we're going to keep him here. Let's add somebody else. Bree. Okay, not ready. Javante.
Can you hear me?
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, how are you?
Okay, good. So what you think?
My thing is, if they're trying to say like this is like a domestic dispute between the both of them, they really gonna have to prove that, because that video don't show her fighting back. That video don't show anything but her getting handled by him. And usually, I'm not even finna sit here and lie. When you give a black man or just a black person power or like a whole lot of money, they really do feel like they can really do anything they want to do, and they won't have any consequences. This situation to me just feel like they gave Puff like way too much power, and he felt like he can just do what he wanted to do, and now it's all coming back to bite him in his butt for real, because nobody has his back now. He thought all these people had his back, but it's like, no, all these people are trying to save themselves too, because they had played a part in this. So it's like he just did worse than everybody, and he's the person that's at the forefront right now. And I don't think that this is to crucify a black man. I do feel like Puff did do some of the stuff that everybody is coming out and saying, because everybody's not just finna keep saying the same thing. And it's like when Cassie said it, it was like, boy, you shut that down within 24 to 48 hours. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like he's gonna get what he deserves, but some of it is just a little, they pushing it. Like they're trying to put too much on him.
But like okay, so let me ask you this though, because and I hear all of that, and I agree. But then on the flip side, when I sat and I watched 5 or 6 white women prosecuting this black man, the black man in me be like, I don't know how I want this to go, because I can't watch 5 white women just nail a black billion. I just feel like that was too many white people and too many white women all at once. You know what I mean? That was too many.
So do you think they're trying to play that card? Do you feel like it should have been like a mixed group?
I feel like it should have been some men in there. It should have been some black men, but I get it. Maybe you have all white women, so it's like it's the women bias. This is why we gotta wait and to see how many what the jurors look like, what do their age look like, what color, who are these jurors. But the thing is, you can't tell me you're gonna get a black juror up there that don't know Puppy. Every one of them jurors at some point is gonna know Puff Daddy. Like some of them people were even on the stand saying, listen, P. Diddy is a nasty person. He deserves everything he's got, so he definitely got X. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's just really interesting because then it's like the bias when the skin color bias comes when you see 5 white women coming to take down a black
Yeah.
man. We've heard that story many times.
Yeah, it is. It's. I can see what you're saying. I would agree that it should be more. It should be more black people on the prosecutor side because it do like when you go in there, it's a whole group of women. You already know everybody loves women, so that's one. And then plus they're white, so it's like they really can play the Karen role, like for real, like. And it's no shade. Like this is gonna be a good trial, and they're really them females up there gonna really tear him to shreds. Like, and he's just gonna have to eat it. Like, this is what you conjured all of this up. Like, you did that. Like, and it's no tea, no shade. Before all of this became public, you could have. You could have saved yourself and just paid Cassie off or whatever the case might have been. You could have just paid that off in the behind closed doors before it even got public,
So
and you
what he
wouldn't even
thought
have to be
was, in
dealing
my
with it.
mind, what he thought
She
that
was bluffing.
yeah, and she was just gonna wait. He thought he was at the end of the statute of limitations, and
Mm,
she waited to the last week and filed before she could have done nothing else and filed, you know. But I think I
yeah.
was talking to somebody the other day. Shout out to Lisa. We were talking, and excuse me, it was just like the writing was on the wall the entire time because every few years Diddy would change his name. Remember, he would like reinvent himself
Mm-hmm.
from Puff Daddy to P Diddy to Diddy. Then it was
To
Love.
love.
And Love
Yeah.
is the one that was really the dark one. But it was like Love was trying to come out of all that darkness that he
A
did and
dark place.
escape
Yeah.
it. And then that was even when he went and thanked Cassie at the BET Awards or whatever that was. I think he was thanking her for thinking that, she wasn't going to file.
And she really did.
And she did.
That's crazy. That is crazy. But I do feel like he did some of he. I'm not saying he did everything because people be lying. I'm not talking about Cassie specifically. I'm talking about these other folks because some people, and you know this for him, some people want to go to these parties and stuff like that and want to participate in some shit like this, and it's like it's not what they think.
Yes. Okay, boo, I got to talk to you later. We got to take some more calls. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get a couple more people. We'll do a few more. Jeff, what's going on?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
What's up? What's up?
What's up? Talk to me.
I think we're missing. I think people are starting to lose the whole point of the trial. Like, it's the feds, and they're trying to charge him on sex trafficking, obstruction of justice, and basically forcing
Yes.
people to engage in activity that they didn't want to. He's talking about, and I think we're losing the fact that they raided his house. What do they have on him? What is the evidence that's going to be presented? What did they find? They say they have tapes of Cassie, engaging in whatever. Do they have access
They
to?
were talking about the coercion, but they're trying to flip the coercion narrative to say there's no coercion there. That was
Hmm.
just mutual abuse.
Yeah, I think they're just going to argue, even with potential, like, quote unquote victims. I think they're going to argue that there was no coercion, that it was all just consensual activity amongst adults. However, it's really going to take the storytelling and the arguments from the lawyers and the witnesses to really, like, express their story.
Yeah.
I think
So
it's going to
whose
come
side
down
are
to the
you on so
evidence.
far?
Excuse me.
Whose side are you on so far?
uh I'm on the side of justice, whatever that is. You feel me?
Okay.
Uh, Diddy has always been known to be a polarizing figure, a controversial man in his morals, his actions, the way that he's treated his artists that were on his label, things that his come up story, all these different things, and just have surrounded himself amongst just around just a lot of controversy and a lot of dark activity. It's not far fetched that the things that he's being accused about are true. Now, there are a lot of bad actors and a lot of liars, people trying to get on, people trying to get money. It's just a matter of weeding those people out and figuring out who is telling the truth, who is not. He's gonna plead his innocence at the end of the day.
Perfect. Thank you. Nice. Well said. Thank you. All right, we're gonna keep going. We got some super chat. Oh, my girl OG hit us with a $100 super chat. Let's clap it up for her. We love that. Shout out to my good girl. She's been there for a long time. One of my Solid Mods members for years. All right. Reporting live from a secret location. It ain't no secret, baby. We're reporting live from New York City. All right. Live at the U.S. versus Sean Combs. Like, let that sink in. The United States government versus Sean Combs. I would never want to have a U.S. versus nothing with my name attached to it. That is crazy. The United States versus Sean Combs. That's big. That's the government. This man is fighting for his life against the government, the federal government, and it's 5, 6 white women. I think I seen 5 today. Crazy. Somebody said, course free Diddy wanna be cursing. I don't know what that meant. Somebody said, love you. Thank you for the super chat. What about him and Kim Porter, Jennifer Cassie? With Jennifer, what about him? He was with Kim, Jennifer, Cassie, and whoever else. Somebody said, keep up the great work. Thank you, Sophie. Keep up the great work. Okay, let's see. Black Butterfly says, his victims were Black women, though. Thank you for reminding us that Black women can't rely on Black men. Shout out to OG, great work. What about Cassie? Cause free Diddy be cursing, okay. Wow. Wow. So guys, it's going to be a very, let me hear from another woman really quick. Let me say, because we still got Jeff up here with the free Diddy. Do you agree with the free Diddy? Melody? Okay, not ready. Okay, let's do one more. Sabina Joseph. Hello?
Hi, can you hear me?
Sabina?
Hi.
Yes, I can hear you. How are you?
Yeah, can you hear me? I'm
Yes,
good.
yes,
I'm
ma'am,
good.
I can hear you.
Thank you for having me on. Okay, great stuff. No, I think Jeff made a really good point. I think we're forgetting that it is the government, and even though Cassie was initially deemed as a liar and everybody kind of was against her, it wasn't her that dropped the video. The video was found and released, which then kind of vindicated Cassie. And on top of that, the feds have gone inside of Diddy's home and they found loads of videos. So, you know, it's not just one video that's going to get exposed in this case. And I think we need to like bear that in mind. So I don't know what's going to happen. I can't say that I'm particularly rooting for Diddy. Definitely on the side of justice, and based on all what's going on, it's not looking good for Diddy. But I think we also have to consider that the government have got stuff on him, which is going to really expose what has been going on, which is why so many celebrities are scared.
But I'll say this really quick, and it's nothing against, you know, I just been in a few cases before, and you can just tell like certain lawyers are strong. Now these women, they may do their thing, but they don't feel strong. These U.S. Attorneys, they're kind of like, I was expecting a little bit of a harder hit. So I don't know. It just depends on like if they can. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, it ain't like that. Like, a lot of people say the feds always got their stuff together. The Fed, I mean, they don't just seem like they got it all the way together either. I'm not gonna lie to you. It don't just feel like it's going one way, like this is just completely over for Diddy. For some reason, I feel like he may have a fighting chance because I feel like one of them or two of them or some of them lawyers over there might mess around and have an accident or something. They just don't feel completely tightened up enough for me.
I mean, I'm based in the UK, and I know there's a lot of issues in the US when it comes to race. and I'm a black woman. So I don't know how much of a role the solicitors being white is going to play in the case when they're going to have a jury who are, Diddy's peers, so to speak, who have to make that final decision. And I'm assuming that it's going to be a multiracial or multicultural jury that will be sat there listening to the case. I just think that we just need to kind of hear the evidence, and people like your good self and others will be able to report back once the case starts to let us know what this evidence is, how it looks, and we just have to take it from there.
Thank you. Somebody said, wait till they put Don Richard on the stand. And I'm going to be honest with you. So I saw Don's lawyer today. Somebody said, well, that's Don Richard's lawyer. So I went up to him and I said, can we talk? He was on the phone. I was trying to be nice because I didn't want to just put the camera in his face, right? But I said, can I ask you a couple questions? But it was raining hard. Oh, Don Richard, excuse me. So her lawyer was there. Cassie's lawyer was there too. I didn't get to see Cassie's lawyer, but I'm definitely going to try to get him Monday if I can get to him. But her lawyer was there, Don Richard, and I was trying to get some info, and he wouldn't talk to me. So he was walking, but he did talk to one of the ladies at TMZ, and he said that they asked him if Don was going to be testifying on the trial, if she would be a witness, and he said he couldn't say, but he was there. Why are you here? So Don will probably be on the stand. So as he was walking away, I ran up to him and I said, I think I may have a little clip, but he wouldn't talk to me. Do I have a little clip? It was really quick. Oh, I do. Okay. I got it. Y'all want to see it? I know you want to see it. I got a little clip. He wouldn't talk to me. I'm going to show you. Hold on. Let me see. Let me see if I can pull it up for you guys. Give me a second. It's loading. It's got to just load, and I can see if I can pull it up. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull it up. But while this is pulling up, I'm going to take another person real quick. Chanel G or Channel G. What's going on?
Hello, it's Chanel. I'm good. How are you?
Hey, what's going on?
I'm good. So, I think with the whole Diddy thing, I understand the whole optics thing with the white women and, him being a black man. However, I do feel like that's more of a systemic issue, and there are people that are a little bit more deserving of that kind of sympathy when it comes to the justice system than Diddy. Not saying that he isn't, that he shouldn't be attacked racially in this way, but I do feel like
you ain't going for it. You don't feel for him. You ain't going for it. You don't care. Uh-oh. I don't know what happened to her. Did we lose her?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm not saying that I don't care about that issue. It's just more of a systemic thing, and I feel like Diddy has been a person that's been above the law for the majority of his life and his career. So I don't necessarily feel like, I think that they just so happen to be white women, and it is what it is. But if the feds are coming after you, 9 times out of 10, they have a solid case that they've built. And I don't know if you remember this, but before Cassie even came out with her story, I remember hearing a bunch of artists saying that Diddy was coming to them with NDAs, asking them to sign them in exchange for their publishing or for their masters.
Yes. And, so, and remember, RBO, they didn't want to sign.
Yeah, she told them girls, like, I'll give you $900, don't sign it. And that's something that kind of like makes me think that maybe it's a little bit, above Cassie. I think that she's a person that, has a real story, and I do hope that she gets justice, but I do feel like it's above her. And I feel like we just kind of got to look at his whole career and look at all the things that he's been doing. And the feds probably have been watching him for some time now, in my opinion.
You might be right. You might actually be right on that. I'm trying to find this video clip of this guy so I can show you guys. I kind of had chased him down a little bit, but he didn't really want to. This is Don Richards' lawyer. Hold on, let me see. Or Don Rashad. Let me see if I could show it though. 1 second. How do I share the screen? I'm gonna drop you down so you can see too. Okay, so let me see if I can get it. Okay. Hold on. Jesus, there'll just be a lot going on. There'll be a lot going on. I'm using my MacBook, y'all, so y'all just gotta bear with me. Okay. Y'all just gotta bear with me because it'll be more smoothed out once I get like going for a while after a while. But okay, let me see. Okay, can you see this? Look.
Sorry, I gotta go. I'm sorry.
Okay. Can you hear?
That's Don Richards' lawyer right here. He's running from me. He says he's gotta go.
I can't hear it.
Will we see Don at the case? Don't want to talk. Says he's gotta go.
Oh, let me see. Let me see if I could. Did you hear me talking to him? Hold on. Could you hear it? Listen. Okay. I'm gonna play it again.
Sorry, I gotta go. I'm sorry. Okay. That's Don Richards' lawyer right here. He's running from me. He says he's gotta go. Will we see Don at the case? Don't want to talk. Says he's gotta go.
Okay. He was not having it with me. He was not having it with me. He was not having it with me. Oh. Listen. I'm not playing. I'm on the scene. Y'all know that. I am not playing no games with nobody. I'm out there in the trenches too. Raining in the trenches. Okay, I think I got the video of Diddy's friend too. This guy is Diddy's friend. Hold on. How long is this video? Let's see. So I'm telling y'all, we're getting down to it. This is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. We are getting to it on this case. I'm not playing no games. I am not playing no games. Hold on, let me see. We got going on. If I can get this other video to send. Hold on, y'all. They said drop the link again. I'm gonna do it for a couple more people, and then we got to wrap up. Then we're gonna wrap it up. But we're gonna be here. We're gonna be here for the long haul. So we're gonna keep the conversations going. Yeah, this one is taking a little bit longer than I expected to. Maybe I could airdrop it. Hold on, let me see. I'm gonna try to airdrop it. It ain't trying to come through right now, but I don't see it. Let's see. Airdrop is oh, here we go. Let me turn the airdrop on. Let me get it. Okay. How do I get that though? Oh, it canceled. I don't know, y'all. It ain't trying to go through now. Dang. Because then I got this other one where he was saying free Diddy. Hold on. Where's the free Diddy video?
Sorry, I gotta go. I'm sorry.
This is Diddy's friend. Oh, and the guy. Okay, the guy is in this one too. The guy is in this one too. I just got to get it to you. Damn. The guy is in this one too. This is interesting. So the guy was in this one too. Hold on. I'm about to get it to y'all. Let me take another person on here. Let's go. Talk to me.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, talk to me.
Okay, I wanted to say that regardless of if he did it or didn't do it, the feds usually have like a 97% conviction rate, and people need to understand that there's difference between state and federal court. State court, you might have a chance. Federal court, they don't lose. And the only recent celebrity that I can think of that won a federal case was NBA YoungBoy, and that was on a technicality. So that's all I got.
So you think Diddy is out of here?
I think so. I really do. They rarely lose. So, but yeah.
Okay. Let me
Good
get.
luck.
Oh, what up? Thank you. What
Yes,
up,
sir.
Bill?
Yes.
All right. We
What
met
up?
at the case today.
What
I
up?
told you I was on the job.
Yes, sir. Can you hear
So
me
what-
okay?
Yeah. So what did you think about that stuff today?
You know, it's one thing that stood out to me. At first, I said to myself, I think Diddy is out of here. But when I heard them say, and I don't know if you picked up on it, that Cassie had gotten involved in some other altercations and fights before
Yeah.
Diddy, and then they pointed out that Diddy wasn't there. So they're building a pattern that Cassie has been violent, and she's one of those girls in a relationship that's always going to slap you upside. I'm not saying that about her, but I kind of feel like I'm kind of feel like that's what they're trying to depict. So now I'm starting to say, at least for Cassie, Diddy might have a chance.
Well, that's what I was thinking.
I don't know.
I thought it was going to be interesting. I feel like they're going to try to humiliate her. That was the biggest
Oh,
takeaway I
yeah.
got from that. They're going to try to humiliate her in that courtroom Monday.
She's going to be in trouble. She's already going to be in her emotions. She's pregnant. It's going to be difficult for her to pull through this. I would imagine. I would hate to be in either one of their shoes. You know.
What did you think about when they were saying that she's going to need a break every 90 minutes? Didn't that make you feel like she was going to be up there all fucking day?
Yeah. I think she's the star witness. She'll go on probably Monday, and I think they're going to drill her for 2 days.
Oh,
at least a day. But I think it's going to go into the second day because they have at least 10 years of her. 10 long years, and these women, they're going to be very thorough. Now, mind you, I'm pretty sure you picked up during the case that they were like, we don't even want, even though we're trying to build a case of Diddy and coercion, we don't want the defense in any way talking negative about her unless we give a good reason for that.
Yeah.
So evidently they see a big problem. I recently won one of the biggest cases in my county, and my case went on for 8 years, personal injury. But it got to the point of the jury, so I learned a lot about how these juries work. and I was there
Yeah,
Wednesday
because
when they
they
were
didn't
drilling
want to.
these
Yeah,
jurors.
no, bring up a good point. They didn't want them to reveal her sexual health or something like that, like anything like they couldn't reveal like
They
any personal stuff like that.
Yeah, they don't want to get into. I don't think, and let's not. I'm not gonna say Cassie, but they painted a picture
Victim
like they
one.
don't want you asking about maybe sexually transmitted diseases or any
Yes.
personal. They don't want
Yes.
those type of questions coming up, brother.
They did
So
not. They did not. They did not want the no. Now, who didn't want that was the prosecution. They did not want the
right,
cross examination
right,
to examine Cassie and ask about her sexual health and sexual like it was like sexual records or anything like that. Like they were like, that's off the table. You cannot ask her that.
yeah, but I was sitting right behind you, and I'm pretty sure you picked up as well as I did. The prosecutors, they have some fear. It's not a cut dry case. I thought it was going to be open and shut, but I think Diddy has a good chance here, man. Now
Well,
that I saw
that's what I
today,
was that's what I was just saying. I was just saying like I don't know if it was like me being a bias for women or whatever, but to me it didn't feel like those women are strong enough to really take this case down.
bro,
They didn't feel
Diddy,
strong.
right? Diddy's attorney, he's handling business, man. This guy's like OJ. He's like OJ's attorney. What's his name? If it don't quit, what was
If
OJ's
it don't fit, you must have quit. I don't know his
well,
name.
what was it? Yeah, I forget his name. But anyway, he's kind of on that level. And then you saw sitting to the left of Diddy, you have Brian Steele, which I spoke to him on Wednesday. He's a really nice
Yeah.
guy. He's the one they really got to worry about because I learned from Young Thug case that he knows what he's doing. You know.
So now, how did you feel like we were waiting outside? How did you feel? Because there's different parts. I was talking to you about it in the line. There's different parts of the case. Like now, as a content creator, getting in there, how are you feeling like waiting so early in the morning? Being traditional media versus like new media, and just do you feel the tenseness in the line in the room of how in the kind of like they feel? Some people feel like we shouldn't be there. You feel like we should, or like, how do you feel navigating that? Because it's its own beast.
So as I told you, I attended Trump's trial. It was organized because we had a list. There was a line for media, a line for the public. This is just a free fall, and it's like a dog eat dog. Like you saw where these women want to throw hands. You know what I'm saying? Everybody is so tense, and
You
it's
did you
like,
hear
don't
that
get in
one
my
lady?
face.
You heard
Yeah,
that lady?
remember remember I
She
asked
said
you
she'll
about it.
cut,
Yeah,
slap, scratch. She said she will go to, and mind you, she was like a white girl. This wasn't no black. This wasn't no ghetto
yeah,
shanae. This was like a little white girl. She was like, I'm gonna claw, fight, scratch, and go off if anybody takes my spot. Like they're ready to fight for these spots. It's gonna get crazy. I think we lost. So yeah, you saw
yeah.
that,
Yeah, I saw it. I definitely did.
but we got in there today. So how did you feel?
Man, I felt good. I'm excited. I'm amped up for Monday. I'm gonna be like you. I'm devoting 2 months to this.
Yeah.
I was able
So
to. Diddy. He kept turning around. So He was saying thanks for coming. And I was like, be straight. He was looking at you and all that. I thought that was cool that he was trying to see who's on his side, and I think it's very important um, to
it's
show some
sounding like
support.
you're a
What
little
what
on Diddy's side right now. I think you might be a Diddy.
You know what? I have to listen to the whole case to come to my conclusion. But I'll tell you, and I don't want to say too much because you and I, they could pull us in easy. We're in there every day, and I don't want them looking us up. Uh, you know what I'm saying? You know how the
Yeah.
feds are. But I have a problem with those women. It's almost like a witch hunt, man. And at the end of the day, more than likely he did a lot of things, but this is more like a relationship issue that he had with Cassie versus him out here randomly abusing people at large. Now, I'm not saying what he did was right, but now are we going to go back in time and start pulling every man and saying, well, you was married to this lady for this long, or you were in this relationship 10 years. She said you kicked her in year 3. It's really sketchy. I thought they had a lot beyond Cassie. It wasn't like she was just strictly working for him.
Somebody said in
You
the
know what I
comments,
mean?
well, yes, we have time for that. Absolutely. This is the point. We do have time for that.
I get that, but what I'm saying is, I thought that this was out of the scope. That they had more than just his personal relationships, right? And I'm not condoning. I don't believe in hitting women and all of that. But the case they brought on, I thought that this was something much bigger than a past relationship. Because today, that's all they really focused on was victim number 1. They're saying very little about victim number 2. And I think I heard today that there's even up to victim number 5.
Number
Did you catch
5.
that?
There was
Yeah.
almost
So
a victim number 5, but that I don't really know. That kind of was a little gray. I don't know. Is victim number 5 coming? Are they not? Like victim number 3 is up in the air, but I didn't know what they said about victim number 5.
right. So that's my only issue here, because I did follow closely with this company. What is it, Diageo, whatever he had to deal with. So I'm curious to know, like, what is all this about? That's all.
Now, victim number 2, I'm assuming is a man
Sounded like it.
because that's the escort. Now,
Right,
what
a
was that?
worker.
They didn't want the escort's personal past to come up.
Yeah, because what they're doing, they don't want this whole thing to go on a wild goose chase.
Okay.
So they want to stay focused. Listen, this is a worker. You're hiring them for the night, let's say, as an example. Now, we don't need to go in and find out that their mother worked here and they were beaten as a child. That's not the focus, because it's not like with Cassie, where she was a employee in a relationship for allegedly 10 years. That's a little bit different. So they want to keep this case focused, because remember, the judge kept saying on Wednesday he wants to be out of this case by July the 4th.
Mm. Yeah, the judge is
And
moving along. He's moving it along.
the worker, and I don't want to say too much, but the worker that they have, I mean, you've seen probably videos of him, if it's the one, and he seemed that he says some things that are really weird. So I think they want to just try to keep this thing simple.
All right. Well, sir, I'll see you next week.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me
Thank
on.
you. Yeah, so he was in the courtroom today. We had a good time. I mean, we did our thing. It's a lot going on, guys. Thank you guys all for the support and, putting into the fun, because as you can see, I'm in New York trying to bring you guys this content. So all the donations help, because New York is high. So I appreciate you all for the donations, the cash apps. I'm going to put it back up here. Y'all know I don't ask for much, but your boy needs the support. So anything you can do keeps us in New York, okay? It's a good time. I'm excited about it. I'm excited about the trial. I'm excited to bring. So now you guys know I'm covering to keep your notifications on. This is going to be primarily our content, because it's going to be every day. Yes, we'll cover other things in between time, but for the most part, we will be the hub for Diddy trial. That's probably going to be 95% of my content, because I didn't come to New York to play games. I came to New York to cover this trial. So we're not going to fluff the channel up with a bunch of different stuff, okay? So yes, I love y'all, and I'll see y'all soon. And the people are saying we need to do a meet and greet. Maybe, and when it cools up, my birthday is out here, so maybe we'll do a meet and greet for my birthday in New York. I don't know where we should meet, but maybe if y'all come out, we can do a little meet and greet. But yeah, I love y'all all, and I'll see y'all soon. Peace out.